Welcome to another tutorial of Proflan YouTube channel. In this particular video, we're going to have a discussion on how to work out different questions to do with sequence and series. So this is a predicted video on the concept that you need to prepare as much as you are waiting for your exams. So this is a very common question that you are going to see, and I'm going to go through key areas and very important concept that you have to know so that you can be able to tackle any question as far as sequence or arithmetic sequence is concerned. So we're going to go to the first question, and we realize that here we are told that here are the first four terms in an arithmetic sequence, and we have the terms as 3, 7, 11, and 15. So you realize that this one can be considered as the first term, and we can be able to get the common difference. What do we need to add to move to the next term? It's 4, so our common difference is actually 4. Then we are told that the last term of the sequence is x, and the sum of the terms of the sequence is 7,260. We're supposed to find the value of x, whereby we're going to show all our algebraic workings clearly so that we can be able to earn all the marks. So we need to remind ourselves that the sum of a given number of terms is given by this formula. So since in this question we know that we have the first term, we have the common difference, and we have the sum of n terms, we can be able to substitute what we have into the equation, and we shall form an equation which we are going to solve. So if you realize at this particular point we're going to have 6, and this is going to be n minus 1 into 4 equals to 7260. Then if we simplify what's inside the bracket, we're going to have what? We're going to have this as, then if we multiply both sides by 2, we're going to remain with that, and now we have a quadratic equation which can be solved either by completing the square method, or you can be able to use a quadratic formula for simplicity. So in this case, let us use a quadratic formula in order to solve this. Now, using quadratic formula to solve this, we need to identify the value of a, the value of b, and the value of c. And in this case, our value of a is actually 2, the value of b is positive 1, and the value of c is 7,260. So that according to the quadratic formula, you start by minus b, and our b is 1, so it is going to be negative 1 plus or minus into square root of that. And we're going to simplify whatever we have inside the bracket, and then now we are going to find the square root of this, which is going to be actually 241. Now we are going to have two answers at this point, so you are going to be very careful the way you are going to pick the values. So since we are finding n, it will mean that we are going to take a positive whole number, so we are going to take an integer. So let me just reduce space so that we can be able to have somewhere to write. Okay, so if we find n here, the first value of n is going to negative 121/4, or n equals to 60. Now in this case, we shall take this as our answer because we are talking of number of terms. There's no way number of terms can be a negative or a fraction. That's why we are saying at this point, you have to take the positive value. Now we need to move further, and because we need to find the value of x, and x is actually the last term. So in order to find the value of x, remember we are going to use the formula sum of n terms can also be given by the formula that is here. So a plus l, where l is the last term, and this l is going to represent the value of x. But we know the sum of all of those terms are 7260, and n in this case is going to be 60. So we are going to substitute what we have into the formula and then 7260 at this particular point, which is going to translate to divide by that both sides, and this going that and that will commit suicide, and we're going to remain with 3 plus L equals to, using our calculator, let us try to use our calculator. Now, using our calculator, we are going to get our answer as 242. So 242, taking 3 on this side. Anytime you take a number on the other side of the equal sign, even if you take it over or under or through the space of the two equal sign, it has to change the sign, and this is going to translate to 239. So our L is 239, and remember our L was representing the value of x. So this is the last term, and our last term x is 239. If you are finding value from Proflan YouTube channel, consider subscribing so that whenever we are going to upload other series, as far as you are preparing for your exam and different concepts that you ought to know, you'll be notified. Remember, Proflan will be uploading videos regularly every time and again, and keep on also checking the live so that you can be able to be learning. Remember, if you are taking your Igcse exams, Proflan will take care of you up to A level. So there is a ton of reasons as to why you need to subscribe, and also you can be able to leave a comment down below regarding the concept that you ought also to need to be produced from the channel. We need to move now further to the next question, because there is another question that I want to take you through, whereby we need to see, given such kind of question, how are you going to approach it? Because we say this is going to be a one-stop shop for sequence and series. You are told the sum of the first 80 terms of an arithmetic series is 470. So from there, you need to remember that the formula you need to use is S equals to n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Also, we are told that the 750th term, so this one we are going to use the nth term, and then the sum of the first x terms of s is 171. Then we're supposed to find the value of x. So I'm going to break down the way you are going to approach this question from the word go, because we know the 80 terms, it means n is going to be equivalent to 80. So writing the formula for sum of n terms, 80 is going to be the value of n, and then we're going to substitute into the formula, and we shall see that is equivalent to 470. Then we can now simplify whatever we have so that we can form an equation, and we can say this is now equation number 1. Then going to the information given at this particular point here, 7th term, we are going to use the nth term formula. So you need to have a clear understanding when to use the sum formula and nth term formula. So here we are also going to have the second equation. So we have two simultaneous equations which we are going to solve. So this means you need to understand how to solve simultaneous equations, either using elimination or substitution. So we can now say solving equation 1, now solving equation 1 and equation 2. Now what I need to do is to multiply the second equation by 2. So if I multiply the equation 2 by 2, it will be 2a plus 148b equals to 29. And the reason as to why I did that is to ensure that I'm having 2a in both equation. So also equation 1 was this. Then we can be able to subtract the 2 and eliminate a, and basically we're going to have this equation as 69d equals to 17.75. Then we can be able to deal sacafoniously with 69d by dividing both sides, so that we are going to have d reducing to a quarter. So this is the common difference. Then we can be able to use equation 2 in order to find the value of A, and then we're going to substitute the value of D that we have just obtained at this particular point. So our A is -4. But remember, we are told that the sum of the first x terms of this series is 171. So we are not yet done with the question, so we can say sum of that. So our sum of x terms, so we're going to take our n as x over 2 into 2a minus that, and then we're going to go ahead and simplify and substitute what we know so that we can be able to form another set of quadratic equation. So it's our work now to simplify whatever we have so that we can be able to have a clean quadratic equation which we can be able to solve in order to find the value of x. So I need to use this particular part and then now substitute at this point we are trying to clean up the equation by simplifying and putting the like terms together, and I want to remove the fractions, the decimals, so that I write everything as a fraction so that we can be able to multiply all through by 4. So if we multiply all through by 4, we are going to remain with a very beautiful equation, which is x squared minus 3x minus 1368 equals to 0. At this particular point, we can use a quadratic formula in order to solve this particular equation, and substituting properly, ensuring that you are taking care of the signs and everything, you are going to find the value of x. Remember, x is the number of terms we are going to get in this case. So you have to take a positive value, positive all value. It has to be a whole value. So in this case, we have this as 57. Now between the two, we are going to take this as our perfect answer. So we are done with that, and I believe you have followed what you are supposed to do in this case. Then I need also to show you another possible question that you can be asked. You are told that here are the first 4 terms of an arithmetic sequence. You can be given a question like this, and then you are supposed to find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of the sequence. Now I want you to consider this as the most easiest question that you can be given in your exam. So what you need to identify, this is the first term, and you need also to identify that from here to here we can be able to get a common difference, and you can see this is a decreasing sequence, so this means the common difference is -7. So we are finding an expression in terms of n, so of the nth term. So we are going to write the nth term formula. In that case, substitute what you have, first term and also common difference, then open the bracket so that you put the like terms together, and you end up having 45 minus 7n. Now this is the expression that is required. Now if you don't trust this story, I want to show you that it's true. If the alligator comes from the sea and tells you the crocodile is sick, if you doubt the story, you have a problem, because alligator lives next to the crocodile. So to show you and to prove that 45 minus 7n is a true expression, we are going to test when n is 3. We can see when n is 3, the third term is 24. So let us do that. So when n is 3, we expect to get 24. Let's see if we substitute into this formula. We are going to get 45 minus 21, and if you do that you get 24. So this is true, and this is the expression that we wanted. Everybody is happy, and if you are happy, consider subscribing, and also you can like this video. See you in the next video.